Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds. Lawrence?
All right, folks, how we all doing tonight? And boy, we have got technical issues out the ass tonight. Oh boy, Luke isn't even available yet. His computer's having all sorts of issues. OBS is giving me all sorts of shit to the point where my Windows capture is nothing but a blank screen. That's fucking lovely. No matter how many times I restarted it, how many times I monkeyed around with it, I have no fucking Windows capture tonight. So that's just fucking fantastic. Ah, boy. Off to a great start tonight. Off to a fantastic fucking start. But show must go on. A little bit of house cleaning tomorrow night. Assuming I can figure out how to do Windows capture on here again. Assuming I can get this shit working again. I intend to be doing a stream on the history of the Blue Beetle. Which is very complicated. I did some show notes for that earlier today. Gathered together some images for Luke to use. Very complicated history. And I mean, not just the eternal, the lore, I guess, kind of history, but the actual history of the franchise. I mean, we're talking all sorts of bit of tangle with copyright rights. We got a whopping 4 comic book companies involved in this. This will be an interesting little thing. If you enjoyed the stream I did on the history of the Thunderbolts, or you enjoyed the stream I did on the Spider-Man One More Day debacle, you'll enjoy this one, assuming I can get it fucking going tomorrow. That'll be at 8 tomorrow. Again, assuming we can even get it the fuck going. That aside, we got a few topics to talk about tonight. May or may not have a sidekick here shortly, but we'll see. We got a few topics. First, though, big thing that's on my mind right now is, you know what I would love right now, folks? You know what I would love? Hang on, I got to adjust the mic. Hopefully this doesn't sound awful. Technical issues out the ass tonight. All right. Hopefully that didn't make a horrifying sound. You know what what's on my mind? You know what I'd love to have right now, folks? I'd love to have a fucking soda. But you know what I'm not having right now is a fucking soda. I am on a diet for the new year. I know it's cliche to start that kind of shit at the new year, but, sometimes cliches are cliches because, for a reason. And, so yeah, that's my goal this 2020, is to not be such a fat fuck. And, I started the year going ahead and weighed myself. I was at 230. I know, fucking fat as shit. I'm already down a couple of pounds from having weighed myself on, was it Sunday night or Monday morning? Something like that. Around Monday, let's say. But yeah, already down a couple of pounds there. But just tired of being a fat fuck. Time to put an end to that. Time to better yourself. Now the big thing I did is I cut the soda out, because I drank shit tons of the stuff. Just absolutely. I mean, probably drank, I'm going to say 1,000 calories a day off of the stuff. I mean, easily. You get a bottle of soda, it's 250 calories for, a 20-ounce bottle of soda. A boring day or a stressful day at the old box factory. Yeah, 4 of them easy. So I basically drank only water here. I had a soda, not this past Thursday night, but last Thursday night. I think the day after New Year's, I guess. Just because I was getting such a fucking caffeine headache. At the old box factory, I didn't have any Excedrin with me or anything. I was like, fuck it, I'll get a soda. It's not too bad. But other than that, I haven't touched stuff. And very, very little amount of fruit juice. I've had a little tiny ass amount of fruit juice. But for the most part, just drinking water. Tons of water. And what else? What else am I doing? My diet is mostly like 90% at this point veggies. You know, a lot of salads, that sort of stuff. Chicken, grilled chicken, and a little bit of cheese. That's 90% of my diet right there. I've cut out almost all the carbs. Like I said, just sticking to veggies, protein, that sort of thing. I guess, what do you call it? I guess paleo, you'd call it diet? I don't know. It's not too bad. I miss the soda. I really miss the soda. God, you have no idea. Let's be real. I was addicted. I am addicted to the shit. You know, if we want to stretch the word addiction to, you know, these guys whine about their pornography addiction or something like that. If we want to stretch addiction that far, then yes, absolutely, I was addicted to soda. Am addicted to soda. Somebody says stay away from bread, rice, and potatoes. Yeah, I've been staying away. I mean, I'm not a big sandwich guy. I'm not a big bread guy, period. I'm not a big rice guy. Potatoes I do enjoy, but yeah, I recognize that, you know, my boomer dad, potatoes are a vegetable. No, I mean, technically, I guess, but no, it's a starch, nutritionally. Yeah, I don't eat a lot of potatoes. You know, I'd say the only bread I'd eat is maybe, you know, maybe you make yourself a quesadilla or something, like a flatbread or a tortilla, that kind of thing. But even that, I wouldn't do often. I had some bread today. I went to Salad Works. You know, like to go out to eat on Saturdays. I went over to Salad Works. They give you a little roll. So I had a little wheat roll with my salad. You know. But yeah, most of the carbs are gone. And like I said, mostly the veggies, the you know, lean chicken, that sort of thing. And I don't, again, aside from the soda, I don't mind it. I like a lot of healthy food. I really do. I mean, I like a lot of junk too. I like, you know, yeah, I like French fries and mashed potatoes and that sort of stuff. Somebody in the chat asked, "What is a cat boy?" Oh, we'll get to that. Don't worry. We'll get to that. Don't worry. We're getting there. Is Bechtloff still wanting to be AOC's footstool? I don't know where that came from, but I mean, she's not a bad-looking woman. So make it that what you will. Anyways, getting back to what I was saying, you know, you shift your focus. Like, yeah, I like French fries and mozzarella sticks. You know what I mean? But I also like salads. I also like lean chicken. I also like a lot of stuff that's good for you. A lot of veggies, that kind of thing. So it's just a question of shifting your focus. Now, you know, someone like my boomer ass dad. It's funny. All December, I was kind of thinking like, yeah, you know, come January, I should really. That's a perfect time to start a diet. I should really just hit the ground running with the new year. You know, it's like Aaron Clary actually approached me in December, and he was planning on maybe setting together some sort of thing where get some other YouTubers that maybe need to lose a few, and like have a competition between us or something like that. Aaron's always scheming, and I mean that in the best ways. Aaron's always looking. He's an entertainer. You know, he's always looking for the next thing that, you know, entertain his audience, which is his job. He should be doing that. You know, I once knew another YouTuber in this circle who's now a Twitch streamer who thought he was above entertaining his audience, and that didn't get him very far. So he says Bechtloff is thirstier for AOC than Fish is for water in a desert. I mean, I wouldn't say that. She's a good-looking woman. I mean, objectively speaking, she's a good-looking woman. You know, on the other side of the political aisle, that gives it a little forbidden aspect. That's always titillating. But I mean, you know, there's plenty of other celebrity crushes I got pretty higher on that list. So, I mean, hell, I'd much rather fuck Mariah Carey, and she's like 50. But I still would. Oh, God, I still would. You have no idea. Anyways, so Aaron approached me last month. And he was like, maybe we'll set this up. And I go, you know, Aaron, I'm not opposed to that, but I'm damned if I'm going to do that in December. You know, Christmas is the worst possible time to try and start a diet because everywhere you go, people are trying to hand you cookies or candies or some other festive holiday sugar-filled bullshit. You know, so I was like, no, I'll do it next month. But all last month, my boomer-ass dad, God love him, talking a big old game about going to lose weight. Now, I was thinking about it, but I wasn't really bringing it up. And he wasn't serious. But you got to understand, and this is so typical of his generation. Boomers have no idea what health food even is. You know what I mean? He thinks rice is healthy. He thinks, like, eating cereal is healthy. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you can't get him to eat vegetables. That's what food eats. I mean, he's such a boomer about food. He would have a hard time actually sticking to a diet because it's not like me. I just got to shift my focus to stuff I like. I just got to be conscious about what I eat, shift my focus towards the things that are good for me, that I actually like. The only hard part is the soda. I fucking love that shit. I still miss it. I'm going to probably miss it for a very long time. But, you know, I don't know if this is that entertaining for y'all, but I kind of thought I should sort of throw that out there as something I'm planning to do. Because, you know, if I get myself thinned down, maybe, you know, if I'm not such a fat fuck, maybe I'll start doing some videos on camera. I got some ideas for some stuff. I don't know, vlogs, whatever you want to call it, that sort of thing. That wouldn't take a ton of editing or shit like that. Might start doing some stuff like that. But, you know, I got to thin myself down. You know? Be a little more photogenic, as it were. Like I said, I'm at 230, or was, as of Monday. I think a pound or two less here right now. I would like to end the year at 180. I don't think that's an unreasonable goal. I mean, yeah, it's 50 pounds, but I'm giving myself a year. You know, I'd like to be at 180 again. And I mean, you know, who knows? You know, I've also been working out. You know, doing some weights, stuff like that. So you know, you add muscle weight, that does affect things. But yeah, that's about where I had want to be at. Somebody says, how tall is Bechtloff? I'm about 5'7", 5'8", depending on which convenience store I'm leaving. People are talking about the Fuentes Catboy stuff. Yeah, we'll get to that. Don't worry. So there's always the caloric restriction, but you do your thing, Bechtloff. Oh yeah, I'm watching my calories. Don't get me wrong, but see, this is another thing. Like a lot of people think, oh, I'm just going to cut the calories, but I'll still eat the garbage, right? Well, the problem with that is you're not you're not going to actually do that. I mean, you can. At the end of the day, losing weight is basically a calorie in, calorie out thing. You know, there's all sorts of different diets you can do that'll help. There's all sorts of things you can do to help speed up the way you burn calories, that sort of thing. But at the end of the day, you want to lose weight, you gotta put less in that's going out. It's a calorie thing, and yeah, you can in theory be eating fucking garbage, high octane garbage all the time, and lose weight if you're just eating very, very little of it and being very, very active. I mean, you might have problems with not getting enough vitamins and shit like that. But I mean, in theory, I guess you could just drink one fucking soda a day and have nothing else and still be losing calories. But the thing is, you're not going to fucking do that. Because you're going to be miserable and hungry all the fucking time. So, you know, you can eat a giant ass fucking salad for the same amount of calories you can eat a tiny bit of garbage. And wouldn't you rather not feel fucking hungry all day? Like your willpower, everyone's willpower has a breaking point. So, you know, it's best not to even tempt it. I'm living with someone right now who is not dieting. And it would be helpful to me if he got his ass on the same page, and it would certainly help him. But at the same time, his boomer ass taste in junk food is not all that tempting. He buys like those old people cookies, like Archway Windmill shit. Or like just a basic bitch apple pie. Like who the fuck, like, I don't care. Yeah, it's just basic bitch country kitchen food. It's not all that tempting. Or like, oh, I bought some fried chicken. You bought store brand, grocery store fried chicken. Not even like Popeyes or, God forbid, even KFC. It's not tempting. So, I mean, you know, I don't have that to worry about. Hell, the biggest temptation is at the old box factory. I got a coworker that everybody nicknames a candy man because he always has a giant bag of fucking candy in his toolbox he's handing to people. And I gotta be like, no, not now, not now. Dashing Rogue sends $2. When are we going to talk about the Major and his Catboy? We'll get to it. We'll get to it. We got a lot of stuff to talk about. He's up. He's up. He's up, Cowboy. You know, we're doing the lifestyle portion of the show right now. But thank you very much for the super chat. I was just under getting payoff this week, or this month, for December, I guess. I was like getting like $96 and something cents, just under the payoff. It's a shame I could have used it this month. You know, I had that big chunk of time off last month, so I could actually use a few bucks. Somebody says Snapple's better, and so I'm just going with water basically. Just going with the water. And I'm drinking tons of it too. Oh man. Yeah. But yeah, I'd like to lose 50 pounds by the end of the year. I think that's perfectly doable. And you know, being honest with you all, with the audience, you know, that helps. You know, have a little bit of accountability. So he says hard to diet with someone else in the house. Again, though, his boomer ass taste, he's not likely to bring home stuff that's going to be all that tempting. I mean, like if I want to eat, let's say if I want a dessert, right? I want something really nice. You know what I mean? Like I'm not going to just get regular store brand chocolate ice cream. I'd get like that really fancy Haagen-Dazs or something like that. You know, really good flavor, really interesting. You know, really the high end shit. You know what I mean? you know, so he brings home just an apple pie. Who cares? You know, what am I in the Andy Griffin show? Who fucking cares? You know, his boomer taste isn't exactly all that tempting. Again, the soda is the thing that's tempting. I mean, I work my day job literally right next to the break room with that fucking soda machine calling at me all day. Hell, I'm about ready to just start like leaving my bank card in my in my glove box with my car locked or something, just so I can't run up to that machine, swipe my card. But yeah, I think it's perfectly doable, and I intend to do it. You know, enough's enough. I do intend to start going to. I work out at home a little bit. I got some weights. You know, I got a little bit of stuff like that. I do intend to start going to the gym. It's the biggest problem is that having the sleep schedule of a crime-fighting vampire. You know, not a lot of gyms open at 2:30 in the morning. Zach the Bong Ripper says, by the way, I had a Popeye's chicken sandwich. It's so good you will trade your children to have another. You know what's actually at Popeye's right now? It's not even too bad when you're on a diet. They have you can get obviously the regular spicy strips, but you can get what's called blackened strips, which is not breaded or fried. It's like just got spices seared onto it. It's grilled basically. That's actually not really bad when you're on a diet. Now, I mean, there's not you can just get that, you know, and a bottle of water. You can't get any of the fucking sides or anything like that. So he says, crazy, I thought Bechtloff was taller than Clary. Oh, I'm taller than Clary. Good God, Clary's tiny, though. Clary's tiny as shit. So he says, Walmart sells 0-calorie water enhancer if you want to satisfy your sweet tooth. I can't hang with the fake sugar, man. Anything that's like, you know, sugar-free but supposed to be sweet, I can't stand that stuff. Any kind of the fake sugars just never sits right with me. I drink a ton of water, but you can't just drink water. I have a little bit of fruit juice. I do a little bit of fruit juice. There's one in particular I really like. It's called V8 Fusion. It's basically the V8 vegetable juice, but it's got fruit juice flavor on top of it, so it doesn't really taste like vegetable juice. But it's actually, the vegetable juice almost kind of gives it a richer kind of texture. But it's pretty good, and you know, it's got all sorts of good shit in it for you. I mean, you know, it's not super low in calories by any stretch. You can't drink a ton of it, but I mean, yes, that's the problem. The biggest problem with dieting is, you know, like most other vices, you just quit. You know what I mean? Most other vices, you just don't do it anymore. But the problem with, you know, being a fat fuck is you still got to eat. You can't go cold turkey on eating. So, you know, you still got to eat. But yeah, that's a plan. 50 pounds by the end of the year. I think that's perfectly doable. I think we can do that. You know, then next time I make fun of Davis, I don't know what he's gonna write 80,000 fucking words about on his blog. Last time we were beefing, he literally just wrote like paragraphs of Bechtloff's fat and a nerd. I guess he'll write about how I'm a nerd now. Just that. It's like, yeah, I'm fat. But you know, I can lose the weight. Are you gonna lose the cringe? But yeah, I think it's time. And then, you know, I mean, I'm not getting any younger. You know, I'm pretty healthy aside from the fact that I'm fat. But you know, time has come that, you know, this needs to be dealt with. All right, so that is that's that topic. Let's see. So, tonight we have a sponsor, folks, for this technical difficulty stream, which I should have named it that. I might change the fucking name later on. But we have a sponsor tonight. It's good folks over at Steve's Jerky. Facebook.com/Steve's Jerky. There is a link below right now even. And you know what? Jerky's a perfectly healthy snack for you. It's all protein. You know, in Steve's Jerky, it's not like the store brand jerky where there's all sorts of preservatives and other shit in it that just doesn't belong there. So yeah, get you some Steve's Jerky. In fact, I intend to get me some Steve's Jerky because that is a perfectly acceptable snack when you're on a diet. I mean, obviously you don't want to eat shit tons of it, but you know, you gotta watch yourself that way if you're on a diet. But it's absolutely fantastic. So get you some Steve's Jerky. And I'm very picky on jerky, and it is some of the best jerky I've ever had. That's no lie. All right, that's not just because he's paying me. All right, I am legitimately, I'll swear on a stack of Bibles, some of the absolute best jerky I've ever had. So check out the good folks over at Steve's Jerky. And also, not currently links down below, but I'll go ahead and put them there once we're no longer live. PayPal, Patreon, and the Amazon wish list are all ways you can support this fine program if you do indeed enjoy hearing some fat nerd ramble about shit on a Saturday night. And also, if you want to have your comments read on the air, you can hit the Streamlabs and the Super Chats and support the show that way. Alright. So, some topics we're going to cover tonight. Pardon me. Sniffing and honking and snorting like DSP over here. We got an article over at Bloomberg News, bloomberg.com/news. Catholic Church shields $2 billion in assets to limit abuse payouts. I would screen share, folks, but unfortunately, screen share in OBS tonight just doesn't want to work. So just go ahead and Google it, I guess, for those of you playing at home. Dioceses are aggressively moving and reclassifying holdings to shrink the value of their bankruptcy estates. If you're still in the Catholic Church, you're wrong. All right, this is an absolutely vile and corrupt institution. For most of the 20th century, the Catholic Church in the U.S. minimized the damages wrought by pedophile priests by covering up the abuse. The abuse? You mean the systematic raping of thousands of children? When the bishop of the Davenport, Iowa diocese was told in the mid-1950s that one of his priests was sexually abusing young boys at the local YMCA. Cue the fucking village people here. He kept it secret. It is consoling to know that no general notoriety has risen, and I pray none may result, he wrote to a priest, capturing the strategy of that era. Again, if you still support the Catholic Church, you're fucking wrong. There's no other way to it. I'm not going to mince words here. You're wrong. That says something bad about you. Cover-ups worked when victims... And by the way, that's a Protestant churches do that. I don't associate with any of them, is the point. And if one I did associate with was systematically for decades upon decades, if not maybe centuries, covering up the rape of children, I would no longer be associating with it. And that's the difference between you and me, isn't it, fucking papist? Cover-ups worked when the victims and their families could be intimidated or shamed into silence. But in the 1980s and 90s, victims started filing civil lawsuits against the diocese where the alleged incidents took place. incidents. That's a nice way to put it. Church leaders across the country kept these suits quiet by settling out of court and demanding non-disclosure agreements in return. Church leaders paid out about $750 million from the early 80s through 2002, according to bishopaccountability.org, a nonprofit that tracks clergy sex abuse. The fact that such an organization even needs to exist. The veil of secrecy on these transactions was pierced when the Boston Globe published its investigations into church sex abuse in 2002, sparking public outrage at how clergy had protected their own. From 1950 to 2002, 4,392 priests were accused of abuse. 4,392 priests were accused of abuse, according to a study by John Jay College of Criminal Justice. The pace of lawsuits escalated as public awareness grew, and besieged church leaders looked to a new option: bankruptcy. Or taking responsibility. That option's apparently never on the table. Bankruptcy. When a church, not just moral bankruptcy, but we already had that, but no, financial bankruptcy now. When a church district that's been sued files for Chapter 11 and then reaches a bankruptcy settlement, a percentage of its assets are divvied up by the victims. Like Fortune 500 executives, and more recently the Sacklers, the family that owns OxyContin maker Purdue Pharma LP, church leaders see bankruptcy as an attractive solution because it provides a controlled process of settling a large number of lawsuits while holding on to as many assets as possible. What absolute shitbags. Another benefit is secrecy. Lawsuits and trials lead to testimony and publicity. Heaven forbid the light of sunlight shine. Heaven forbid. Heaven forbid that the supposedly men of God should have to face the truth. Bankruptcy ensures a quieter mass settlement that forces an end to existing lawsuits and blocks new ones. It provides a clean slate, says Robert Kugler, a lawyer who represents abuse victims in the St. Paul and Minneapolis Archdiocese. Dioceses have gone this route more than 20 times since 2004, when the Archdiocese of Portland, Oregon, declared itself insolvent. More dioceses are filing for bankruptcy now that rules are changing about how much a victim has to sue over abuse. 7 states in the District of Columbia passed laws in 2019 to suspend the statute of limitations on civil sex abuse suits, and at least 3 other states are considering them. Known as window statutes, they become popular in the wake of the Me Too movement and public outcry over abuse by men in power. Until recently, only a half dozen states had them. Window statutes calls churches declare bankruptcy in San Diego, Wilmington, Delaware, and cities throughout Minnesota. After New York State's law went into effect in August, almost 430 sex abuse victims immediately filed lawsuits, most of them against dioceses. The Diocese of Rochester declared bankruptcy in September. Bishops in Brooklyn and Buffalo announced they may soon follow. In many cases, churches precede bankruptcy by transferring and reclassifying assets. The effect is to shrink the pot of money available to clergy abuse victims. What utter shitbags. That and Chapter 11's universal settlement and protections from further claims have been an effective 1-2 punch for limiting payouts. Pardon me. A Bloomberg Business Week review of court filings by lawsuit. Good God, I can't talk tonight. Technical difficulties on the Bechtloff here too. By lawyers for churches and victims in the past 15 years show that the U.S. Catholic Church has shielded more than $2 billion in assets from abuse victims and bankruptcies using these methods. The survivors should have gotten that money, and they didn't, says Terry McKenny, president of bishopaccountability.org. The Catholic Church has behaved like a business. It hasn't behaved like a religion that lives by the rules it espouses. The unfolding of one diocese bankruptcy provides a roadmap for what may come as more go this route. The Chapter 11 filing of the archbishops in Santa Fe shows how easy and routine it is to rejigger a balance sheet. The archdiocese was facing a few dozen clergy abuse suits when it filed in December 2018, saying it was too poor to defend itself. Oh, but let's sing the sad song of their people. The number rose to about 375 by June of 2019 deadline that the bankruptcy court had set for victims to file claims. New Mexico doesn't have a window statute. In court papers, the archdiocese reported owning $49 million in real estate cash and investments. That figure included an Albuquerque headquarters, corporate and municipal bonds, half dozen cars and pickup trucks, and an unspecified amount of gold and silver. By contrast, the church's 1951 incorporation papers put its estimated value at $40 million, or $396 million in today's dollars. To arrive at that $49 million figure, church leaders said at least $178 million in cash and property associated with the archdiocese was owned by parishes or held in a trust or foundation, and thus wasn't eligible for inclusion in the estate. Lawyers for the victims, saying there's no real separation between the archdiocese and the parishes, argued that the $178 million should be included in the available funds. That would raise the value of the estate to as much as $227 million. The church in Santa Fe began reorganizing in 2012. In November of that year, the business managers for the 90 or so parishes across northern New Mexico gathered in Albuquerque to be addressed by Tony Salgado, financial chief officer for the archdiocese. Tony had called the meeting to explain to the managers how to incorporate their parishes separate from the archdiocese. We got step-by-step instructions, says Christine Romero. Then the business manager for St. Anne Parish in Santa Fe. The legal change wouldn't let the archdiocese assert that each parish was a distinct organization that owned its own property. Around the same time, records show church leaders created the Archdiocese of Santa Fe Real Estate Corporation and began transferring hundreds of properties into it. Again, what utter shitbags. Incorporating parishes separately allowed the archdiocese to take $91 million off its books. The first $34 million came from moving 120 properties in Santa Fe, Teos, and other areas into a trust. It says it holds on behalf of the parishes. The properties include churches, cemeteries, and buildings with a cafe and a yoga studio. Real quick, we got a super chat. Senator Chief says $2. And says, next is criminal conspiracy charges for cover-ups. Oh, absolutely. If it were up to me, the entire Catholic Church in the United States would be just hit with fucking RICO laws. Just dismantled. From the top down. Fuck them. And by the way, fuck any other church doing this. Oh, Bechtloff just hates Catholics. Fuck any other church doing this kind of shit. I don't care the denomination. Fuck them. Tear it down. It's a dead branch. It belongs in the fire. Let's see. I'm not going to read the rest of this. This does go on for a while. But you get the idea. Alright, so move on to some other topics. It's fine Saturday evening, full of technical difficulties, full of my ass not being able to talk. We got another story. Y'all folks familiar with a man by the name of Paul Krugman? Unless you're a news junkie like me, you probably aren't. But oh, you know what? Real quick, I want to read before we get to that article. I want to read some tweets for an old buddy of ours, Dave Serini. Because I don't have I don't have this on screen share, so bear with me there, folks. But he tweets earlier today. First tweet: I don't expect perfection from anybody, nor do I purify tests. In fact, I'm suspicious of anyone who's too shiny. But I do expect public figures to avoid scandal, do their best not to mislead their audience, and to tell the truth. Hashtag disavow. Next tweet: and not a single leader in the online right movement has lived up to that standard. Seek God. Read the saints. Reject modernism. Modernism, whatever the fuck that means. They never say reject degeneracy. Just reject the modern world. What does that mean? I mean, I like having flush toilets and electricity. What exactly are you talking about there? reject modernism and cults of personality. At this point, again, you want to talk about cults? At this point, I'm suspect of all e-celebs. Either they're directly on the payroll or they're being supported indirectly. Their ego and vanity exploited by anonymous backers for the sake of leading their audiences astray. Again, Davis Arini tweeted these things. The lack of... I had to share that with you because the lack of self-awareness staggered me. Just... I was at a loss. Just when I think he can't surprise me. But let's go ahead and... here we go. Here's the story I was looking for. This is off of Mediate.com. The New York Times' Paul Krugman says hacker downloaded child pornography using his IP address. New York Times columnist Paul Krugman claimed on Twitter Wednesday that a hacker is attempting to use his IP address to, quote, download child pornography, unquote. I don't know. Maybe he pissed off James McDonald. I'm on the phone with my computer security services. As I understand it, someone compromised my IP address and is using it to download child pornography, unquote, wrote the Nobel Prize winning economist, which is a joke in and of itself. An internet protocol, IP number, is a virtual address connected to any given computer hardware that assists with connecting said devices to a broader network like the internet. It also allows devices to be addressed to a specific location of the user. Quote, I might just be a random target, but this could be a attempt to QAnon me, he added, referring to the far-right online conspiracy QAnon, which brazenly alleges that President Donald Trump is secretly working to unmask and take down a global network of elite pedophiles, who are in turn working with the so-called deep state to take down his administration. Quote, it's an ugly world out there. So, Paul Krugman apparently is a pedophile. Just thought that's something everybody should be aware of. Paul Krugman is apparently a pedophile. Yeah, fucking sue me, Paul. I mean, yeah, I believe your story as much as I believe your next economic prediction. So, moving on from that, let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and talk about good old Ricky Gervais and the Golden Globes. Now, the Golden Globes were this past Sunday. I didn't watch them because I'm not a homo. I didn't even watch the Golden Globes back when I didn't despise Hollywood. But Ricky Gervais hosted it, and he proceeded to... well, let's go ahead and listen to some audio. And it's a good thing I don't have screen capture, because apparently a lot of people are getting nailed for sharing this stuff.
Come one.
All right. Boy, the ads on YouTube are getting fucking ridiculous. Maybe you wouldn't have to put 40 ads in front of everything.
Hello, and welcome to this.
Maybe you wouldn't have to put 40 ads in front of everything YouTube if you didn't demonetize half your fucking channels.
77th Annual Golden Globe Awards, live from the Beverly Hilton Hotel here in Los Angeles. I'm Ricky Gervais. Thank you. You'll be pleased to know this is the last time I'm hosting these awards, so I don't care anymore. I'm joking. I never did.
He really tears into them. This is some good shit.
NBC clearly don't care either. 5th time. So, I mean, Kevin Hart was fired from the Oscars because of some offensive tweets. Hello? Lucky for me, the Hollywood foreign press can barely speak English, and they've no idea what Twitter is. So, I got offered this gig by fax. So, let's go out with a bang. Let's have a laugh at your expense, shall we? Remember, they're just jokes. We're all gonna die soon, and there's no sequel. So, yeah, remember that. But you all look lovely, all dolled up. You came here in your limos. I came here in a limo tonight, and the license plate was made by Felicity Huffman. So, no, shush. It's her daughter I feel sorry for, okay? That must be the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to her. And her dad was in Wild Hogs. So, lots of big...
I'm not even sure who that is.
I mean, legends, icons, yeah? Look, at this table alone, Al Pacino, Robert De Niro... Baby Yoda. Oh, that's Joe Pesci, sorry. I love you, man, don't have me whacked. But tonight isn't just about the people in front of the camera. In this room are some of the most important TV and film executives in the world. People from every background, but they all have one thing in common. They're all terrified of Ronan Farrow. He's coming for you. He's coming for you. Look, talking of all you perverts, it was a big year...
Again, I'm not sharing video. People, the fucking celebrities in the audience getting visibly pissed. Visibly pissed.
It was a big year for paedophile movies. Surviving R. Kelly, Leaving Neverland, Two Popes. Shut up. Shut up. I don't care. I don't care. Many talented people of colour were snubbed in major categories. Unfortunately, there's nothing we can do about that. The Hollywood foreign press are all very, very racist. So, fifth time. So, we were going to do an in memoriam this year, but when I saw the list of people that had died, it wasn't diverse enough. It just, no. It was mostly white people. And I thought, nah, not on my watch. So, maybe next year. Let's see what happens. No one cares about movies anymore. No one goes to cinema. No one really watches network TV. Everyone's watching Netflix. This show should just be...
All right, now, here's the thing. I don't remember the exact timestamps. I only watched this like once. The beginning of this isn't really very brutal. Like, yeah, he always makes fun of people. But he goes to another level later on in this. There's only like 4 minutes of it left.
Me coming out going, well done Netflix, you win everything, good night. But no, we got to drag it out for 3 hours. You could binge watch the entire first season of Afterlife instead of watching this show. That's a show about a man who wants to kill himself because his wife dies of cancer, and it's still more fun than this, okay? Spoiler alert, season 2 is on the way, so in the end, he obviously didn't kill himself. Just like Jeffrey Epstein. Shut up! I know he's your friend, but I don't care.
I know he's your friend.
You had to make your own way here in your own plane, didn't you? Right, but seriously, most films are awful, lazy, remakes, sequels. I've heard a rumour that there might be a sequel to Sophie's Choice. I mean, that'd just be Meryl Streep going, well, it's got to be this one then. All the best actors have jumped to Netflix and HBO, you know. And the actors who just do Hollywood movies now do fantasy adventure nonsense. They wear masks and capes and really tight costumes. Their job isn't acting anymore. It's going to the gym twice a day and taking steroids, really. Have we got an award for most ripped junkie? No. No point. We know he'd win that. Martin Scorsese, the greatest living director, made the news for his controversial comments about the Marvel franchise. He said they're not real cinema and they remind him of theme parks. I agree. Although I don't know what he's doing hanging around theme parks. He's not big enough to go on the rides, is he? It's tiny. Right. The Irishman was amazing. It was amazing. It was. It was great. Long, but amazing. It wasn't the only epic movie. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, nearly 3 hours long. Leonardo DiCaprio attended the premiere, and by the end, his date was too old for him. So... Even Prince Andrew's like, come on, Leo, mate, you know. You're nearly 50, son. The world got to see James Corden as a fat pussy. He was also in the movie Cats, but no one saw that. And the reviews, oh, shocking. I saw one that said, this is the worst thing to happen to cats since dogs, right? But Dame Judi Dench defended the film, saying it was the role she was born to play, because she... I can't do this next joke. Because she loves nothing better than plonking herself down on the carpet, lifting her leg and licking her... Furball. She's old school. It's the last time, who cares? Oh. Apple roared into the TV game with a morning show. A superb drama, yeah. A superb drama about the importance of dignity and doing the right thing, made by a company that runs sweatshops in China. So, well, you say you're woke, but the companies you work for, I mean, unbelievable. Apple, Amazon, Disney. If ISIS started a streaming service, you'd call your agent, wouldn't you? So, if you do win an award tonight, don't use it as a platform to make a political speech, right? You're in no position to lecture the public about anything. You know nothing about the real world. Most of you spent less time in school than Greta Thunberg. So, if you win, right, come up, accept your little award, thank your agent and your God, and... So... It's already 3 hours long. Right, let's do the first award. The first award. The first award is for Best Actor in a Television Series.
I'm not going to play all of it. Like I said, I just wanted to get some of the good stuff. It was, like... There's two kinds of lines of thinking on this. On the one hand, there's a lot of people that make way too big of a deal of this shit. Like, you know, the guy, he's always taking the piss out of audiences. I mean, Ricky Gervais is very much a comedian that way. You know, whatever his audience is, he's going to shit on him. But it was satisfying. It was satisfying that, you know, it wasn't normal stuff like, oh, there was some of it, oh, like, this guy's short, this guy's dumb, whatever. But he called a whole lot of them a bunch of spoiled fucking pedophiles. And, that's satisfying. That was fucking satisfying. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I didn't watch the Golden Globes. I never watched the Golden Globes. You know, I didn't watch the Golden Globes back when I didn't hate Hollywood. I certainly am not going to watch it now. But nonetheless, it was satisfying to see. Alright, so on to the titular topic. So, a past week or so, a video of Nick Fuentes going on a date with some gay guy surfaced. Okay, so, objectively speaking, this is just a video of Nick Fuentes and this other person. They're in the car, they're talking. They go to, like, the mall, they get something to eat, they shop, they go to the arcade. This other person is a streamer. They call him a cat boy because he dresses like an anime girl with cat ears. Sparky Master sends $4.99 and says, "This man is mean. What happened to the nice man talking about Legos and ectomorphs?" He can be found on Twitch. Anyways, so Nick Fuentes. It looks like Nick is probably gay. It looks like he's probably a closet case. All right, he's hanging out with some some anime cat boy that apparently shoves dildos up himself. He's like a cam boy or something. I don't know exactly what he's doing, but like he's Nick's probably gay. All right, Nick's probably fucking this guy. There's a whole lot of scenes in these. I watched Dashing Rogue mirrored it. A few other channels mirrored clips of this. I watched Nick and this other guy are giving each other looks. Like, look, he can say it. I was just hanging out with this guy. Bad actors are trying to make me look bad. No, Nick, you're gay. Let's be real. He's gay. All right. This was him going on a date with some dude. And you know what, dude? I don't even really give a shit that you're gay. I really don't. All right. Like, yeah, I don't approve of it. But that's trust me. I don't have room to throw stones when it comes to sexual sin. That's for sure. But at the same time, I'm not the guy running around claiming to be all trad. I'm not the guy running around about how we need to outlaw porn. Or all. Also, it's funny how he. No wonder Nick could always. No wonder he could always resist the allure of those e-thoughts, huh? But yeah, I'm not the one running around claiming to be trad. I'm not the one talking about, oh, we got to ban pornography because of degeneracy. Meanwhile, this guy's going, screw your optics, I'm going in, as he penetrates a cat boy's anus. So what it boils down to is, I said this before when we were talking about the pornography debate. All these guys that are like, oh, what, you don't want to outlaw porn because you actually believe in free speech? You must be a coomer. Well, no, it's actually the guys that want to outlaw porn that are coomers. It's the guy, because and you see this, by the way, in the comment section of the videos of these guys, when they're, of like, say, the EMJ versus Sticks debate or something, where, these guys will talk about these crippling porn addictions they had and stuff. They're the fucking degenerates, okay? If somebody's walking around talking about how they need daddy government to keep them from looking at Pornhub, they're probably a fucking degenerate. I'm sorry. I know it's like a meme that the left always throws out there and shit, but I'm really beginning to think that the vast majority of the right, especially the trad right, is just a bunch of closet cases. Or other kinds of degenerates. So yeah, if you're running your mouth about how daddy government needs to step in and get rid of all this porn, it's probably because you can't control yourself with the porn. I mean, look, I'm addicted to fucking soda. I said that earlier in this stream. I don't feel like daddy government needs to come in and slap the fucking Pepsi out of my hand. Needs to outlaw corn syrup. And trust me, there's a much better case on a public health standpoint for outlawing corn syrup than porn. Somebody in the chat says, I reject your argument that you must be pure as a driven snow to oppose degeneracy. Reminds me of the you can't oppose abortion because you don't have a vagina argument. No, it's more like I would very much roll my eyes at someone that's claimed to be pro-life and had 4 abortions. It's more like that. And what it always is with these guys is it really is the rules for you, but not rules for thee, not for me. All right. Because, again, Nick isn't out there being honest about it. He's not out there saying, I struggle with this or something like that. No. He's just a fucking good old-fashioned hypocrite. And even to right now, if you were to, in the chat, if you were to mention it or something, he'll get mad, he'll ban you, he'll spoony banhammer you. And of course, all his fucking fans, the loyalist of his fans, still stick around and they still suck his dick, metaphorically. And look, I don't know if a lot of people are like, this is going to ruin his career. I doubt it. I'll be honest with you, I doubt it. All his fucking fans they're gonna find every excuse to be like, oh, it's not real, or it doesn't matter, or whatever. And fine. I mean, I basically wrote this guy off when, he decided, he was gonna go on the anti-free speech fucking crusade that suspiciously seemingly every faction of the right hopped on all at once. I'm sure that was totally organic. But I basically thought I was done with him at that point. So I mean, I don't really care what he's doing. But yeah, the respect I had for him was done. It's like, all right, well, nobody I need to listen to. But no, it's probably not going to ruin him. All his fans are going to... I mean, think about it. Look back at these cases and all. It really does take a lot to fucking ruin your... To fucking chase away your dick riders. There are still people who give money to Spoonie. And there's even more people who, if Spoonie actually started making content again, would completely forgive what a reprehensible shithead he is and start supporting him again. Look at Mike Enoch. People still give money to people still support Mike Enoch. You would have thought that, when they pulled the curtain back and saw what the Great and Powerful Oz was really like, you'd have thought that had been the end of it. But no. So yeah, a lot of people are saying, oh, Fuentes is finished. No, he's not. No, he's not. There's still people giving money to Owen Benjamin. Externalized misogyny sends $10. Thank you very much for that super chat. Says no e-girls, clap clap, never. Only cat boys. Sparky Master. Sparky Master sends $1.99. Thank you very much for the super chat. Says excuses denying their leaders are homos. Explains a lot. So Christian says the right needs to focus more on issues that affect everyday citizens: gun rights, public transportation, housing affordability, wages, not this petty BS. Look at the Groypers, right? The Groypers were really hammering home the Israel question. Why is our government subservient to this tiny pissant little country halfway around the world? And there's no answer to it, by the way. There's no answer. There's just screaming and snarling and madness every time you ask one of these fucking neocons. And the Groypers were really pushing on that and good on them. And then all of a sudden they wanted to be hopping on the E. Michael Jones because, yeah, I definitely want to take sex advice from a man that looks like a pedophile. In all fairness, not that Styx, Hex, and Hammer doesn't either. They wanted to hop on that shit. Just give up on the fucking, the thing that was actually working. And let's try and kill free speech. So, yeah, Fuentes is finished. No, he's not. It doesn't matter. End of the day, it doesn't matter. Dashing Rogue sent a $2 super chat. Thank you very much for that. It says check your Skype. He sent a something. Catboy Nationalism. He sent me a little image. It's very funny. Sorry, I can't really screen share right now, but I'll share that on Discord or something like that. Catboy Nationalism. Sticks look like he'd sacrifice the child afterwards. Yeah, fair enough. Sticks is a goofy looking motherfucker. There's no getting around it. I mean, I don't even have anything against Sticks. I think he's pretty, at the very least, he's pretty, I don't know, authentic. What you see is what you get with that guy, I think. Well, he's a goofy looking motherfucker. I don't even think he'd dispute that, by the way. I mean, I'm not one to throw stones. I'm a big old fat fuck. So, I mean, at least he's in shape. The chat says Fox Day, Davis, Home, Benjamin, and Spoonie all still have fans. Fuentes definitely isn't finished if they're all still making money. I don't think Davis is making money, but the rest of the ones you mentioned. What's Spoonie? Spoonie's still making about 300 some odd on his Patreon, I believe. Which, I mean, that's all he's making. That is literally all of his income, so that's why he's, slowly dying. But, I mean, that's still, I think a lot of people would be very, very happy to make $300 some odd a month for nothing. I mean, he doesn't even produce content. It's $300 a month to complain about how shitty his life is and fucking Trump, am I right, LOL on Twitter. So, So yeah, I don't think Nick's going anywhere. I don't think it matters. We're all going to make the jokes. We're all going to pass the memes. We're all going to have a joke at his expense. And that's fine. I mean, for as long as YouTube allows us with the anti-harassment bullshit or whatever. But that's it. And, going back to the earlier point, well, you could be against degeneracy but still be a degenerate. I get that. Look. I'm a scumbag. I'm a degenerate motherfucker, okay? And if I didn't have my faith, I'd be a Cenobite by now, all right? So I don't throw stones in that regard. But therein lies the point. I don't really throw stones. Like, I have some jokes. I have a laugh here and there. So he says 300. Does he live under a bridge? Oh, he's losing his house. So maybe soon. But there's something about getting up on the high horse. I remember Nick on a stream with Ralph, and they were talking about, what was the dude? What was the dude in Britain that had the pug do the salute and he went to jail for it? Oh, fuck. Dankula. Count Dankula. Dankula's got all these tattoos and fucking goofy-ass fucking body mods all over himself. He looks ridiculous in my humble opinion. But then Fuentes is like, they're all talking about Dankula, and like Fuentes is like, oh, if I was in charge, he'd get the guillotine because he's a degenerate. And I know Fuentes is like half joking, Zoomers perpetually, and a nine fucking dimensional irony. They don't even know what the fuck they're saying anymore. But only half joking. Look at this fucking degenerate with tattoos. Meanwhile you're sticking your tongue up a twink's asshole. And by the way, it's just allegedly. It's just allegedly. Okay, fine. Yeah, it's allegedly like O.J. Simpson allegedly murdered those people. Okay, let's be real. Okay, he was found not guilty in a court of law. Fucking fantastic. Okay. You know, there's this fucking... I don't have the meme on me, but there's this meme of, like, the horseshoe theory, where at the one end of the horseshoe, it's uwu commie femboy, and on the other end, it's uwu fascist femboy. So he says, Nazi cat boys, I guess SS stood for scratch, scratch. Yeah, you get... when you're a high enough SS officer, you get the cat suit from Super Mario 3D World. So he says, tattoos are degenerate, death penalty and punishment. Look, I don't think tattoos should be illegal. I don't like them. I think they're pretty fucking scummy and degenerate too. I don't have any. I prefer a woman I'm with to not have any. I mean, but even that, I don't draw a firm line. Like, there's some tattoos I'm not bothered by. You know, I knew a girl. She actually got a spider tattooed on her upper back, sort of between her shoulder blades, and it wasn't very big. And it was actually it was a spider design I had on a hoodie. It was like a Spider-Man type spider. But she got that like black spider tattooed on her back, and she thought it was really cool, and I wasn't too bothered by it. I mean, you know, she's a ginger, so I'd prefer her perfect, you know, porcelain skin not be tarnished by such ink. But it's a tasteful tattoo in a kind of a discreet spot, you know. And she even said, like, I didn't get the lower back tattoo because that's basic bitch. So, you know, I can respect that. Okay, fine. That's a lot different than like some asshole that has like a sleeve and thinks that makes him look cool, you know. So, you know, I think tattoos tend to be pretty fucking cringe, is I think a better way to put it. Most of the time, it's try hard, it's edgy, it's Shadow the Hedgehog. But, you know, getting like a tattoo in a discreet place kind of thing, I don't necessarily have a problem with that. Well, I might be done. That's about all I got to talk about. Looking at the chat. Let's see. Craig Langley in the chat. Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Let's see. Somebody said, did Nick actually rim a twink? Allegedly. Allegedly. He went on a date with one. It wasn't a date. No, it was a date. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know, man. I'm just kind of tired of that the hypocrisy of it all, you know. Let's see. I think we're probably gonna wrap this up. We went on for a good amount here. Somebody says get Craig Langley on. Okay, you know what? If he wants to, he can Skype me. We can have him see what he's up to. But no, he's mostly just walked away from the YouTube thing. I don't think he wants to do that. Next week, of course, we'll have me. Oh, certainly. Yeah, all right, fine. Craig will pop into the show next week. We'll have Craig on next week. Syndicate Chief, you got a mod wrench. Go ahead and throw a Discord link in the chat too, if you would. OBS doesn't like when you try copy and paste shit. I gotta find an alternative to this. All right. So, like I said, tomorrow night, 8 o'clock, we are probably going to do a stream on the history of the Blue Beetle franchise, a little comic book history. So if you enjoyed the Thunderbolts history or the One More Day, do consider checking that out. At least if I figure out these fucking technical difficulties and why OBS doesn't want me to screen share now. No other streams planned for the week, but I'll probably do some late night streams here and there, random BS. Like I said, I get myself slimmed down. I'm thinking of doing some actual on camera, stuff, and not live streams, but some videos. I'm thinking of other stuff I want to expand to, and I've played around with some other stuff, hasn't really caught on. But there's other stuff I'd like to do for the channel. Now, that doesn't mean that this stops. It doesn't mean the streams stop. It just means we do other stuff too. So don't worry. I'm not going to be like, oh, I know you all like this channel because of this one thing, but I'm going to start doing this other thing. I know a lot of creators get like that and then are mad that nobody likes that for some reason. Go figure. So, yeah. And I wanted to be honest with y'all. I wanted to be, look, I'm at 230. I'm hoping end of the year I'm at 180. That's the goal. So feel free to give me shit about that throughout the year. Like, hey, fat boy, how you doing on your diet? Feel free. I'm not going to spoony banhammer you. I like that kind of thing. I like being held accountable. Domino Mortis says, if you go on camera, can you wear sunglasses and sit in the dark at least once? Oh, no doubt. No doubt. Don't go on camera, Bechtloff. It'll ruin your mystique. I don't know how much mystique I have. One of the biggest reasons I don't like going on camera when I'm live is, because you're live. And you gotta watch, you scratch your nose, and next thing you know, everybody's, got a compilation of you, like, oh, this guy picking a booger, that kind of thing. It's just annoying. You are the shadow man of mystery, the Bulbasaur of mystery. Somebody's saying continue the Arini stream. I think he took it down, actually, but Luke saved it. I don't know. Maybe I'll have Luke throw it up as an unlisted video, and then we'll watch it again later. You must cast a very big shadow. Yes, indeed, I do. All right, so hold a glass of apple juice with ice in it and rattle around sometimes. I might do a full-on, if I'm actually on video, I might do a full-on parody of Davis. I don't know. It might be fun. Who knows? I mean, you're not allowed to make fun of people on YouTube anymore, so you got to watch it. You got to be really nice. We don't like harassment here on the YouTubes. I don't think you're big enough to get clipped like that. You'd be surprised. There's a couple of channels, believe it or not, that's like mirrored a couple of my old podcasts. Like back when it was the Bechtloff podcast and it was pre-recorded and it sucked balls. As opposed to now just kind of sucking. A lot of diet advice. Smoke cigarettes every 2 seconds. Well, I was thinking of starting cocaine. I hear that really helps you slim down. Thinking of doing some cocaine. Obviously joking, YouTube. I in no way advocate illegal activities. Cowardly Dog says, can you get John Steele on and explain why he would expand the aid budget to Israel? I don't think that's accurate. Somebody says, seriously, stay off camera or wear a mask or have a weird effect like Walking Life. I don't know. Smoke some bubblegum cigars and have a glass of apple juice. Randomly flick a lighter for effect. Eldritch fan says, I'm a amoral atheist, but I'm not a gay pedo. Think I could cut it as a Catholic priest. Sounds like a great racket. I don't know. I mean, if you're not gay, I guess I guess you don't have any competition for the little girls. They're getting no attention. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. Get a Davis and Vox mask. That would be the same mask. Just bald guy mask. Or it could be the Coomer. You know, that bald guy on Twitter. Oh, Lord. But yeah, I think I'm going to wrap this up for tonight. Hope you all enjoyed the show. Like I said, if you do, consider supporting the show. Got PayPal, Patreon, and Amazon wishlist. There are all ways you can do just that. And that's about all we got for this week. I want to thank you all for listening. Bechtloff out.